Hey, how's it going, everybody? So today we're going to be bringing you an X-Saber deck profile for the new 2017 format. It's the first BANLIST 2017, right? Alright, cool. So I don't got to be specific about it. So this format, I'm bringing back X-Sabers again for the millionth time because Rescue Cat is back in the format. So basically, this is just going to be an average X-Saber deck with Rescue Cat in it. Kind of getting ready for Link format when Rescue Ferret comes out, so here's the deck. We have, starting off, 3 Fultrell. He's just, you drop him when you have 2 X-Sabers on the field, and getting 2 X-Sabers on the field is super duper easy. You have a million ways to do it, no matter what situation you're in. If you draw Fultrell, I'm going to say not 100% of the time, but like 80% of the time, you're going to be able to drop him almost immediately. Then we have double X-Saber Bogart Knight. Combos off with Fultrell, so you could go play Bogart Knight, play a full Helm Knight, go into a level 7 X-Saber type monster. But before you go into level 7, you could drop Fultrell from your hand, bring back something from your graveyard like your Bogart Knight, and go swing for big damage. Or option 2, if you have a Pashul in your hand, you could go into a Hyunlei and then go into like a Thought Ruler or Crimson Blader or something like that. Like Crimson Blader could lock out a lot of decks, so that's always an awesome first turn as well. Next, we're running 3 Emrys Blade because he's really annoying to get rid of. You let your opponent attack Emrys Blade, or you run in with Emrys Blade. And if your opponent attacks Emrys Blade, just keep playing more Emrys Blades in defense mode until you get to Dark Soul. Or just attack with Emrys Blade. Maybe get out like a Bogart Knight if you have like, I don't know, Tenki out on the field and their monster's like 1800. Bam, that's like 200 points of damage right there. Even though you just took a couple points of damage, who cares? You got a bigger monster out. Next, Dark Soul. He basically is synchro fodder, or just let him die. Just let him die. He gives you a search at the end of the turn. Next, we're just basically running 2 of all of the tuners. So 2 Pashul, just because he can't be destroyed. 2 Arbellum, he gets rid of cards in the hand. And then 2 Full Helm Knight, he stops attacks every once in a while, but past stopping attacks, if he attacks the defense position monster when it's in face down defense position and it gets destroyed, you could special summon something from your graveyard, just like you would be able to with Fultrell, which is always a nice thing. So like a mini Fultrell. And then the one-ofs in the deck for monsters are Rescue Cat and Neospatian Grand Mole. Rescue Cat, what you're going to do with this is you're just going to play it, send it to the graveyard, play Dark Soul, play Arbellum, sync up for Hyunlei, and if you have a Fultrell in your hand, drop the Fultrell, and if you have the Fultrell, you can go into a Gotham's as well. And then end of the turn, Dark Soul's effect goes off. Now we're going to move on to spells. We're not really running any 3-of spells, so I'm going to start off with the 2-ofs. We're doing 2 Saber Reflection, just because damage while you have a face-up X-Saber on the field is really easy to take. Then your opponent has to take it, and then you could search out a lot of the spells and a couple of the traps in the deck really easily. Next, we have Saber Slash. It could be used as a small Raigeki or even a heavy storm in some cases, which is really fucking awesome. Saber Vault, which pumps up all your X-Saber monsters, which is basically every single monster in your deck, by its level times 100. It's kind of a degenerate card. Gotham's becomes 4,000. Then Fire Formation Tenki, search out Bogart Knight, pump Gotham's, Rhoda, because you know what Rhoda does, and then Gotham's second call, just in case you need to get out another synchro that turn or something like that. Then Gotham's emergency call, even more synchro spam or bringing back monsters that you may want to fight onto the field. Saber Hole, 3 of them, because it negates any summon. Even if your opponent pendulum summons, you could activate this while you have a face-up X-Saber on the field, and your opponent just lost his entire pendulum summon. Storming Mirror Force, I don't need to explain that, and Fiendish Chain, I just like Fiendish Chain. Yeah, I think it's a generally okay card, nothing too crazy. Stops some annoying things. So for the extra deck, we're gonna be 2 Gotham's, because Gotham's helps discard stuff, becomes basically a god card in this deck. Trishula, just because I pulled the Trishula and I think it's cool. Then Colossal Fighter, Thought Ruler Archfiend, and Crimson Blader. Colossal Fighter for anything with warriors. Thought Ruler Archfiend if you ever are too low in life points, and Crimson Blader if your opponent is like really, really dead set on summoning high level creatures. Urbellum, he's kind of stupid if you get your opponent when he's completely open and has 4 or 5 cards in hand, and he can't do anything. Well, now he really can't do anything because he has to put 1 card back on top every turn and draw back into it. Swoza, just in case you need to get over something, or if you just don't, if you're afraid he might blow up. Goyo, this could be really replaced with Barkion. I'd much rather have Barkion than Goyo, but it doesn't really matter. 3 Hyunlei, basically a Harpy's Feather Duster on a stick. Then Naturia Beast, because we all know what Naturia Beast does. Ally Justice Cataster, because Ally Justice Cataster. And then Gauntlet Launcher, because he gets over a lot of annoying shit, and you'd be surprised how good he is in some situations. Of course, you could also replace Goyo or maybe Ally to get out something like, for another XC, what was it? Gaia, to overlay on top of him, get him really big and beefy. But that's the whole X-Saber deck. It's pretty self-explanatory. Play monsters, sync up, exceed once in a billion years, and beat your opponent's face. And just keep doing that for the rest of the game, and you'll win eventually, and maybe get rid of some cards. Later.